What's up guys, Chaps here. I recently put out a Gridiron for Dummies type video that I kept fairly objective. Today I wanted to relax a little bit and have a bit of discussion about my personal or the subjective views on Gridiron. Needless to say, I'm enjoying it. I basically took time away from Gears for the entirety of Operation 2, and Gridiron seems to have me hooked again. I'm not sure if that's because the break allows things to feel fresh now, or if it's just because the mode is that good. I'm kinda leaning towards the latter though. I wanted to start this one off by hitting on some of the common discussion points I've seen in the community. One of the most common complaints I've seen is along the lines of, this new CTF mode sucks, we need respawns in it. I think this is a fundamental issue with the way players are perceiving the mode. It's not a CTF mode, and it's not an elimination mode either. It's a single life objective based mode. And I just want to note, I'm really excited that we finally got one. This has been a pretty big request from the community, all the way back since the Gears 2 days. I'd venture to say that TC hit this one out of the park, and they basically delivered something that fits in this spot perfectly. This isn't a bomb game type, or whatever it was people have been asking for a really long time, but it is a single life objective based mode, and it works really well. So on the topic of people claiming that it's a failed CTF, or it's just another Warzone, I say these players are wrong, and they're probably some of the ones causing a lot of the losses and issues in the mode. As the meta evolves, people are going to learn how to balance the objective versus the value of their lives. You really should think of this as an elimination mode that has an additional element that will force people to keep things progressing. The flag doesn't spend too much time on the ground, so for that reason, one team is always on offense and one team's always on defense. This basically forces one of the teams to show their hand and make some sort of move. And this, well, I think this is what really drives things home for me. I used to really enjoy Execution and Warzone in Gears 1, and I even played a bit of Execution in Gears 2. Once we started getting more of the respawn modes though, like Guardian was a big one for me in Gears 2, the single life modes just weren't doing it anymore. There were a lot of stalemates, and if you died, you had to wait a while to get back into the action. With Gridiron, stalemates have basically been eliminated, and the rounds are much shorter. This basically solved both of the issues I had with the single life modes. On top of that, it keeps the clutch factor that's present and makes the single life modes fun. I've never seen myself as an amazing player. I was Onyx 3 in Gears 4, and I probably could have hit low diamond tier if I actually tried playing ranked in any regular fashion. But that said, while I might not be the most skilled, I usually have good situational awareness and knowledge of the modes that I play. I feel this is one of the biggest reasons that I'm enjoying Gridiron. It just has an additional element to track, and it really pays off for those who can track it while still remaining effective in fights. Before I move on to a few critiques on the mode, I wanted to hit on two more common complaints that I've seen. And that's that touchdowns should be worth more, and or that they should have execution rules. I'm going to link a developer stream down in the comments. Jonathan Taylor, one of the multiplayer guys at the Coalition, gave a fantastic presentation about their design goals for this mode, and he hits on both of these topics. I too had these thoughts when I first started playing, but after a few matches, and even before seeing Jote's pitch, I completely understand why they went the way they did. Giving more points for touchdowns would simply slow things down. People would treat it more like an objective game type. One prime example is that if a team is down to just one last person, the team with the flag may choose to go capture it rather than getting the kill and just ending the round there. This may often be the safer option, and it still happens a lot now, but it's definitely the slower option and would happen a lot more if touchdowns were worth more. With a game type with so many rounds, the extra seconds and minutes here and there, they really add up. The other aspect is execution rules, and I personally was shocked when I found out this mode didn't have execution rules. But as it played out, I quickly realized that this would yet again be another aspect that would significantly slow down gameplay. People wouldn't die as quickly, so rounds would last much longer. As Jonathan Taylor pointed out, execution rules are also more forgiving. They allow for more reckless behavior going unpunished. At the same time, Warzone rules were simply too punishing on some of the semi-risky plays. The balance they struck was with the execution type rules, and it's perfect in my opinion. To be honest, I didn't even know escalation downs were any different than King of the Hill or TDM before this, so this was kind of interesting to me. So again, to anyone at TC watching this, great job, I really enjoy this mode. I do have a few minor critiques, and I mean really small critiques, but I figured I'd hit on them here. The first is the damage drop-off against downed enemies. While I do believe that this was the correct move, I think that it's a bit too steep. I'm getting in plenty of situations that I'm simply not able to finish off the enemy in time. I wouldn't ask for any drastic change on this. I really do like the ability to crawl behind cover or get yourself back up if the other person takes too long, but there are times when I have to reload my Lancer or something after downing somebody and it just takes a really long time. So again, not any drastic changes, but I do think the drop-off should be toned down a little bit. The only other real critique I have is the theme of the mode. It uses a flag for some reason when there's plenty of Gears themed items that could have been used, and it has touchdowns like football, or I guess Gears so thrash ball or something, but it doesn't really make that much sense with a flag. There's no animation for picking up the flag, so you could have just easily had a resonator strapped to your back, or a control beacon for the Hammer of Dawn from Campaign or something. Just anything with more of a Gears theme to it. You could then have the touchdown be something that better reflects the objective and what you're carrying, and have an overall more Gearsy vibe to it. Again, it's just a minor critique and it has nothing to do with the gameplay, it's just a thought I had about the atmosphere of what's being delivered. I haven't been making too many videos, so I wanted to throw one last point in here before we wrap things up. I mentioned previously that the break from Gears probably helped me enjoy things more now, and I also find Gridiron to be a great mode. But I can't help but feel that there's another substantial part of why I'm enjoying things in the way that I am right now. And that is simply the way in which I can play, and by this I mean the lobby setup. With Gridiron, I am able to select exactly which mode I want, and be put into a rolling lobby where I can just keep playing that mode. We're not seeing that in Gears too much anymore. I'm not really sure when this video is going to go out, but I'm really hoping that when Gridiron goes into Ranked on Tuesday, that they're going to have a social option up still. Playing casually with my friends in a rolling lobby, in a mode that we enjoy, it's truly been a great experience. And on that note, I'll wrap things up. If you didn't already see the Gridiron Basics video I did, or if you didn't see the Coalition's developer stream in which they talked about it, I have them both linked down below, go check them out. While you're down there, let us know what your thoughts are on the new mode. Subscribe and like the video if you think we earned it, and as always, thanks for watching.